back in high school when I first got my first car was a Toyota Camry 1997, and I had it for about when I was 16, going to my 17 years old. I had the car for about a year or so by the time I was 18, and I got really tired of my factory stereo, and this is what it looked like right here. And by the time I told my dad, my dad himself, we own a stereo shop, so I told him I want to put a new stereo and upgrade my new system to get better sound quality and then have better features to get access to my music faster. So after that, I told him I wanted to learn how to install stereo, because if I go to a stereo shop or I go to Best Buy or Fry's Electronic and tell them I want a stereo and then they want to install it for me, it's going to cost me like another $100, $150 extra. So I want to save that money, and instead of paying that $150, $100, I want to learn it myself and save and put it on my car with following the right steps. So today in this speech, I'm going to show you how to take out your factory stereo, show you how to take out the factory stereo and put in the new stereo. And the 3 steps is how to take the dash out. The second one, how to connect a harness with the factory and the aftermarket. And the third one is the tools that you need to use to connect a stereo, an aftermarket stereo. So first, the tools that you needed to connect an aftermarket stereo is you need a wire stripper. This one, it has different sizes of millimeters. It depends how thick the wire is. You go small, big, and this depends on the wires that you have. Second, you need connectors. There's 2 types of connectors for harnesses. There's this one and there's that one. This one is you can connect one side into the other side, which I like this one, but I don't have the small size one, so I couldn't bring with me. I brought in this one. What it is, you bring both wires in, you put them in, and you crimp them. And the good thing about this wire stripper, it could strip the wires and it could also crimp them from the back. So you use 2 things in one. That's what I like about this stripper. And then second is zip ties. This I like to do after I'm done with my harness work. I like to zip everything down, so I don't want everything as a mess. I wanted to keep it nice and clean, and I don't want to wires flying out of nowhere. And you never know, it might touch a metal, and then a short might happen. So it's a good way to keep your harness safe. You could also use stereo tape. It's the same thing, but I like zip ties better, because this one, if the wire gets heated, this stereo tape might melt, and it might create really it's really I don't know, like moisture or like some bad. I don't prefer using this if you don't have zip ties, but if you don't have zip ties, you use stereo tape. And then I need 2 screwdrivers, Phillips or flat, just in case whatever your car has. Some cars have flat screws that you need to take out from the dash, or a Phillips. And then after that, you need an aftermarket harness. An aftermarket harness is the harness that you use to connect to the new stereo. Because once you take out the old stereo, you gotta take that out and you can't use that no more. So what you need is an aftermarket stereo to connect it back, and to connect it with the aftermarket harness, which is this one right here that goes into the stereo. So now that I showed you the tools, now I'm gonna show you how to take out the dash gate. So for a dash gate, this is not my old car. I got a new car, so this is what it kind of looks like. This is the back of it. So you got to get an overview of the dash gate, see what it looks like, get a feel of it, see if there's any screws, any kind of parts that you need to take out. For this one particularly, I don't have any screws. All I got to do is just clip it out. But for safety, you got to be careful. You don't want to pull it too hard, because if you break these parts, you got to go to a dealer, and they're probably going to rip you off and charge you a lot. So you want to take it out one side at a time. For me, I would start on the right side, pull it out, and then start from the bottom, and then just take it out completely. That's the best way to take it out. Then after that, you want to check the screws that you have in your stereo. If there's any screws under the lighter, there's some screws you need to take out, because the stereo is not completely out yet. So after that, I showed you how to overlook the dash and the safe way to take it out. I'm going to show you how to connect a harness. For a harness, pretty much some cars have 2 parts, and some of them just come in one altogether. For this car specifically, for a Chevy Silverado 1984 to 2002, they come in 2 parts. So what you have to do is you got to connect both harnesses, the aftermarket harness that goes to your car, and the aftermarket harness from the aftermarket stereo. So what you have to do is pretty much match all the colors. Obviously you want to match all the colors, because if yellow with red, it's gonna make it shortest, and it's gonna blow your fuses up, and that means you have to replace them. So what you gotta do is I'm gonna use these connectors because this one's too big, and if I crimp it, it's not gonna stay in. So I get the red and the red right here together. You strip it out. So this one, just measure it in. It's about 0.9. You strip it out, and then you just get it like that. Get it together. And then the best way to know how to connect the harness, the aftermarket stereos mostly come with a book behind, and it tells you the where things go, like what harnesses, what wire goes, like black, the red, the yellow, the ground, all that stuff. It just tells you all the details so you know what to do. And then after that, I get the connector right here, get it together, and I crimp it from the back side, obviously. Make sure it's nice and tight, doesn't fall out. And then there we go. And then you just keep going. So I'm just do like 2 more. So the yellow now, and then you gotta match it. And then you wanna be careful when you get the 2 wires, make sure they're nice together, nice and tight. And then when you get to the crimping part, it's really, really, really tight. So it doesn't fall out, because you want the wire to be safe in there. You don't want no short edge. You want the, like I said, the yellow and the red touching each other, especially the ground. If the ground touches with power, that's a really bad short. Same thing, you get the connector, and then you get the black wire on things on the outside. You pretend this is black. I don't know why this one isn't. Again, get it together. And then get a connector. And crimp it. And then there you go. And then just go as long. And then for the speaker wires, you pretty much gotta match all the colors. The aftermarket one, and with the aftermarket harness and the aftermarket harness from the stereo, pretty much match all the colors. So you gotta go green, green, purple, purple, gray, gray, and white. And there's different, some of them, they come, the purples, I believe, the purple and the green are the front, right and left, and then the gray and the white are the back. So after that, once you get everything connected together, you connect the factory harness that plugs into there, you connect it into the car, into the dash, and after that you connect the new stereo, which is a Sony, and you just plug it in. And then the antenna, it comes from the car already, so you don't have to make a new, you gotta do no connections. Plug it in the back, and then put the stereo back. So for that case, this one's a single DIN. This car has a double DIN, so what we need to get a kit that's half, it's a single DIN. So it comes with a pocket and a space for the top part right here. But before putting back all the kit and everything, make sure you want to screw everything back the right way. And after that, once everything is screwed correctly, you could put everything back. But before putting everything back, you gotta turn on the ignition and see if it works. How the music sound, if it's playing the right speakers, if the speakers are working or not. And good thing about this, I can access my music really fast because all I gotta do is just use an auxiliary cord. And this, all I gotta just plug it in right here where it says auxiliary, and then go to my pretty much iPhone where I listen to my music to, plug it in right here, and then turn on the stereo. And all I gotta just press the mode button where it switches to aux, and then just plug it in. And then instead of using CDs, now everyone uses an iPhone, iPods. It's an easy way to use music. And this Sony stereo right here is pretty average price, about $85. It's not that expensive. You could afford it, and it's pretty good. And so today, after I showed you how to take an overview about how to take out a dash kit from a car, how to connect the harness, and the tools that you need to use to connect a stereo. So hopefully, if you're looking forward to buy a stereo, you don't go to Best Buy or Walmart and tell them to install it for you. You could easily follow the instructions on the paper that you buy from the stereo that provides for you, and you can connect it and save about $100 to $150. You can spend that, go out with friends, hang out, and just do other stuff. Thank you. This is it.